Hey guys, we've had an exciting recent few weeks here with not one, not two, but 3 new book reveals. Things slowed down a bit after that, what with the official site having some issues for the past couple weeks, but that gives us some time to recap the recent news. As always, I'm going to leave the potentially spoilery content until the end in case you want to avoid it. And while we're on the topic of spoilers, I just wanted to mention that now that A Starless Clan Book 2 has been out for a couple months, and the official site's posting content from it, I'm no longer going to give a spoiler warning if stuff from Book 2 comes up, which does include this video. Anyway, though the reveals are the main news, we've got some official site and merchandise content to cover first, as well as a little bit of stuff for the Roblox game. So first, to celebrate the 20th anniversary, they posted the winners of the January Fan Challenge, which was to design a card for the series. This time, they chose 20 winners instead of 10. They also posted the theme of the February Challenge, which is to draw your favorite clan-changing cat. They also wrapped up their 20th anniversary content with an article that ties the original books to the new ones. It discusses the qualities that made Firestar heroic, and though the current Thunder Clan views him as legendary, he wasn't a perfect cat, and his journey wasn't easy. Moving forward to the current books, this time the quizzes focused on cross-clan romances. One is about forbidden relationships in general, one is specifically about Spireclaw and Fringe Whisker, and the other is about cats who switch clans, whether for romance or other reasons. Some of the polls fit this theme too. One asks whether you'd leave your clan for a romantic partner, while another asks if you think Nightheart will stay in Shadow Clan. The third poll asks how you discovered the series. Moving on to merchandise, 2 new things have been added to the official store. The first 2 new charms to be released for the charm bracelet after it first came out with Firestar. These new charms depict Jayfeather and Graystripe. If I'm being honest, it's kind of hard to tell the difference between Jayfeather and Firestar. They probably should have used colorful enamel or something. But at least Graystripe is more distinct, with his more unique pose and stripe on his head. Meanwhile, the official Roblox game Warrior Cats Ultimate Edition has had some limited time accessories for sale, a Starvine set, and some floral ones for Valentine's Day. They also revealed a promo code for the series' 20th anniversary, Warrior Cats 20 Years, which gave a collar with the clan logos. More recently, they've announced that the Prey update is finally coming soon, and have posted an open testing event in their Discord server. And finally, let's move on to the book reveals. I'll start with the least spoilery and move to the most spoilery, so I'll be starting with the Ultimate Guides edition, then Riverstar's Home, and then lastly, A Starless Clan number 4. I'll also have timestamps in the description if you feel like skipping to this particular one. Now, the Ultimate Guide was the one I had the most questions about. Will it have new art? New stories? What all is updated about it? We weren't even sure on the title, since the original brochure listed it as the Ultimate Guide 20th Anniversary Edition, and Amazon lists it as the Ultimate Guide Updated and Expanded Edition. But the reveal of it, revealed that its official title is just The Ultimate Guide, like the original book, though of course it has a new cover, and it does have a separate listing in online stores where it's listed as the Updated and Expanded Edition. Here's the blurb. Step inside the Warriors world with the ultimate update to the Ultimate Guide to the Cats and Clans. Celebrating the 20th anniversary of Aaron Hunter's #1 best-selling series, this new edition adds 10 years of plot developments, new characters, and exclusive stories that can only be found here. Features include new full-color art and profiles of more than 85 of the most important warrior cats, an insider look at each of the clans, the stories of how Bramblestar and Tigerstar received their 9 lives, an exclusive, never-before-seen glimpse at Firestar and Graystripe's view from StarClan, and more. So this answers some of those questions. It'll definitely have updated entries to reflect the last decade of books, and new art. Now, fans are trying to figure out if it's brand new art, or whether it'll come from the reprinted covers of the books. As far as I can tell, the images in the cover at least appear to be brand new, since I took a look through Owen's covers and didn't find any, including the novella portraits, that seemed to match. Whether this will hold true for the whole book remains to be seen, but I'll be really excited if it is entirely new art and not just the lazier route of using the book covers. Going back to the description here, it also mentions new characters and that it contains more than 85 of the most important warrior cats. The original Ultimate Guide had 73 entries that covered a total of 87 cats. I think we can assume that they've at least added the protagonists of the 6th, 7th, and 8th arcs, plus probably Darktail, who's been a major villain. So that's at least 10 additional cats right there. And finally, it specifically lists a new story about Firestar and Graystripe and StarClan, though it mentions exclusive stories, plural, among the new additions. So hopefully that means more than one. The new version of the Ultimate Guide will be released on October 10th, confirming the date on Amazon's listing of the book. It'll also have an audiobook edition released, according to some sources such as Barnes & Noble, so it'll be the first field guide in the Warrior series to make it to audio. Moving on to the next book reveal, the next one I'll cover is Riverstar's Home. As you may remember, in 2021 there was a poll as to which cat should get a super edition. It was rather controversial as people were clearly using bots to add extra votes and manipulate the results, but after the site made changes to combat that and remove the fraudulent votes, Riverstar was still the winner. Here's the newly revealed blurb of his book. When a storm-tossed river sweeps Ripple away from the park he's always known, he commits himself to the life of a peaceful loner. Still, as his new island home starts to become a sanctuary for other rogues, he can't help but feel responsible for their safety, and for the community and clan they're beginning to build. But when a friend from the park reappears with terrible news, the cat now known as Riverstar will have to decide which home he is truly committed to protecting, his new clan or his old family. After the last two super editions, Leopardstar's Honor and One Star's Confession essentially just retold stories we've already seen, I hoped that Riverstar's book wouldn't be just yet another retelling, this time covering the events of Dawn of the Clans. But so far, this blurb is promising. It seems like we'll at least get a little bit about the cats of the park, and while it does sound like it somewhat covers the formation of the clans, it also seems like we'll get new content. It mentions a cat of the park visiting the cat now known as Riverstar, meaning it takes place after the end of Mothlight's vision when he has his leader's name. I hope this means it'll also cover after Thunderstar's Echo and Shadowstar's life as well, giving us a glimpse into a small part of the Warriors timeline we haven't seen yet. Riverstar's Home comes out September 5th. And finally, we have the reveal of a Starless Clan number 4, which has the title Thunder. According to the reveal article, the cats on the cover are Sunbeam in front, with the cats in the back being Finchlight on the left and Sparkpelt on the right. This is the most spoilery blurb, since Book 3 isn't out yet, and it makes mention of at least one major thing that'll happen in that book. Consider this your spoiler warning before I move on to the blurb. Okay, so here we go. To save her clan's future, she must look to its distant past. Frostpaw was told to trust no cat, but a brutal attack has left her gravely injured, and she'll need to depend on someone. When help arrives in the form of a young warrior, she convinces him to protect her as she follows StarClan's cryptic directions toward the roots of RiverClan, where Riverstar has promised she'll find the answers she's been so desperately seeking. Back at the lake, the tension between ShadowClan and RiverClan might be easing, but the peace is fragile. Until StarClan's chosen leader is found, the slightest push could lead the clans back into outright war. So yeah, that's a bit of a surprise that Frostpaw is badly injured, though it doesn't give any hints as to by whom. Maybe she doesn't even know. Also, despite Frostpaw's conclusion in Sky that she never had a connection to StarClan, it seems that she actually does, since she heard from them, including Riverstar here. It sounds as if she's going to be doing some traveling, possibly to the park or the remainder of RiverClan territory, since we know from Graystripe's vow that it's not too badly affected. since it mentions she'll be following Star Clan's directions toward the roots of River Clan, and it mentions back at the lake, meaning part of the story takes place away from it. Neither Nightheart nor Sunbeam are directly mentioned in this blurb either, but I'm thinking Nightheart might be the young warrior that arrives and agrees to protect Frostpaw. If he is, then Sunbeam would have to remain around the lake to give us a point of view as to what's going on there. That leaves us wondering about what exactly happened between the two of them. If Nightheart is in River Clan now, maybe they decided to leave Shadow Clan together with all the prejudice against clan swappers. Or maybe he and Sunbeam's relationship ends, perhaps with them realizing that their connection is less about their attraction to each other, and more about bonding with someone who is also feeling left out. At any rate, this is certainly a well-written blurb. It isn't overly vague, and does go into details about the book's plot, but also doesn't spoil too many major events from the previous book. We'll have to see if the release of Book 3, Shadow, in April, sheds any more light on things once we see all of what happens in that one. Well, now we're all caught up. Any thoughts on the reveals? It sounds like we're going to have some interesting stories in the coming year, and it's been a while since I've been this excited for new books to come out. I truly can't decide which one I'm most looking forward to. How about you? Hope you're all doing well. As always, thank you for watching.